All right, if you're moving to the Mid-South and you think winters here are not a big deal, well, this past week may have proved something different. Hey, it isn't Chicago's winters, but when it hits here, it hits differently. And so let me set the stage for you. So we're typically a very mild climate, but we're right where the Gulf breeze and the southern winds and the southern moisture could possibly meet that cold air that comes through. And sometimes when it happens, it causes a major disaster. And here in the Mid-South, we have different ways of getting prepared. For example, backup generators, buying groceries, oil lamps, kerosene lamps, making sure everything is okay. And so this past particular week, we had some crazy weather. And I'm gonna ask some questions for you to understand, because I really want you to know that when you move here, what you can expect. Okay, question, because people in the Mid-South or moving to the Mid-South want to know. But I think it's most important first if we start here. How long have you lived in this area?
All but 6 months of my life.
Okay, so you're native, so you're accustomed to this. And so with this last storm, what do people looking here need to know about that once a winter storm? You know, we get this one time a winter. So what were some things you learned about it?
Well, not that I learned about it, but let me tell you this. Here we can't drive in the sunshine, so don't expect us to drive in the snow or ice. 2, be prepared. Yes, everybody's going to go get milk and bread. You don't need milk sandwiches. So what I would suggest to you is get real food that you can eat, because if it was like this storm, you're going to be stuck in the house. You can't get out. I mean, literally, like, it was crawling on ice, and we haven't had one of those since 1994. So with that said, that's what I would do. I would have things to do, games to play, because TV gets boring. You get to, I think I reached the end of the internet this time. It was pretty rough. Did y'all make it well?
We did. All right, thank you very much. That's all I need to know. Tell us, how long have you been in the area? All your life?
All my life.
All your life. Okay,
Yes.
So you're accustomed to the winters in the Mid-South.
Yes, very crazy.
Very crazy. Okay, so every once in a while we get the storm. What is the one thing that you learned last week? Tips. People moving here, what would you tell them?
Don't go outside. Don't drive. I got stuck about 5 times. I would say, I don't know, just don't go outside. Don't go outside.
Don't go outside.
Don't go outside when it's winter.
What did you do?
Stayed inside, stocked up on groceries, really just ate, watched TV, and work.
And so, okay, so there's not a whole lot going on.
Yeah,
it's a good downtime to clean.
Yes, clean.
House projects, paint, that kind of stuff. Yeah. All right, perfect. So with that being said, you said don't go outside, and life kind of slowed down. So did the mail run?
No, the mail did not run.
For a whole week.
Packages are late. Yeah, the trash is just now picking up today. Yes. In my neighborhood.
Yes, and it's about 2 weeks behind.
Yes.
It's about 2 weeks behind. And the grocery stores ran out of food.
Everything.
Because we couldn't get trucks in.
Yes, even milk.
Even milk.
Didn't have milk.
Milk was good, and that seems to be the staple that you need when you're snowed in here. So, yes. All right, so
stock up on groceries, stay inside, and that's it.
Enjoy it.
Yes, enjoy it.
You heard it here. How long have you lived here? All your life? Part of your life?
All my life.
All right, so you're accustomed to our annual winter storm, right?
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay. All right, so based on this last storm, I'm looking to move and relocate in this area.
Okay.
What do I need to know about the winter storm?
Unpredictable, I would say. You never know what you're gonna get, so be prepared.
And when you say prepared, what is preparing?
Well, I take that back. People go crazy, like they buy all the groceries, milk, eggs, bread, anything you can think of, any food you can get your hand on. People will blow it all the way out of proportion and take everything off the shelves. So, I don't know. I would just say go ahead and play it safe and play into the craziness. Get your food, coats, propane tanks. Make sure you got some heaters, just because you never really know what's gonna happen. But enjoy it for sure, because kids will be out of school for a little while.
Oh wow, yeah. I think it's been 8 days so far.
It'll be pretty much 2 weeks.
So those that are watching, why is it important when we say be prepared? Do you know why this is said to be prepared?
Yes, because we get a lot more ice than snow.
Okay.
This is what I believe.
Yeah.
And we just don't have the equipment for all the ice that widespread, the back roads, the trees hanging over our streets and whatnot, so the ice kind of hangs around.
Yeah, so we're not prepared, right? Correct. So that's what I wanted you to say, because a lot of people who don't know that, I think most people, if they're from up north, who are accustomed to winters, would say you guys in the Mid-South are crazy because everything shuts down. But we don't have the equipment. So we don't have snowplows.
Right.
We have tractors sometimes. They do put a little salt and sand out, but we don't have the equipment to combat that.
Yeah.
So as a matter of fact, in this last storm, truck drivers and motorists were stranded on both of our major interstates for like 3 days because they couldn't get through.
Yes.
So, all right. So one last word of wisdom to those watching who need to know they're looking to buy, relocate here. Is this typical, or what would you say to them?
I wouldn't say typical, but it's leaning towards that direction. The past 10 years, I'd say we probably had a good 5 years of this, but just be prepared.
To be prepared. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stop. I know that you really want to find out a little bit more about what's going on with the winters here in the Mid-South, but I need to give you a fun fact. Fun fact is 88% of you who are watching this channel right now have not subscribed. So what that means to me is you're thinking about moving to this area, or you're just thinking about relocating into this area and you need to know this stuff. So take the time right now, click subscribe and follow us. So I know what you're thinking. You've heard those and you're thinking, well, really, what does that do? How does that tie into the housing market? Here are some things to consider. When we're out looking at houses, it might be important for us to pay attention to garages. Do you need a garage? Do you need snow tires? No, you don't need snow tires, but garages do help. What about fireplaces? Do you want an electric fireplace? Do you want a gas fireplace? What happens if the power goes out? Do you need a backup generator? What about cooking? Do you need an outdoor kitchen that has gas and propane? Could you cook out there if you were to lose power? And what about inside? Do you need a gas grill? Some certain things that are important that might make these times of emergencies more easy, or not more easy, but easier to live when things get tough. Okay, so just to kind of wrap it all up, the winters here are typically mild. We just came out of Christmas, which was in the 70s. The first few weeks of January, we're in the 60s and 70s, and we're going right back up. So this happens every once in a while, this little inconvenience, and kind of slows down the world because the post office does stop, the Amazon trucks don't run, the grocery stores run out of food, and it kind of becomes your winter frenzy. But it's not an all-time, every winter event. So all that to say, living in the Mid-South is a perfect place, and whether you're looking to relocate or you're moving to this area for the first time, we are the ones that you'll go to. The Home Gurus love to help buyers find the perfect place for you here in the Mid-South, so give us a call. Okay. Tell me, how long have you lived here? How long have you been in this area?
21 years.
Okay, so you're a transplant.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
so that technically you're a transplant. So you've experienced winters, but here in the Mid-South, but you have experienced winters elsewhere.
Correct.
Okay, so this will be really important. This last storm, which was Fern, I don't know why it wasn't more catastrophic in name, but Fern, what would you tell people who are looking to relocate here that they should know about storms like that? What's something you learned from this past storm?
To be prepared.
And so our whole team's been saying, be prepared.
Okay.
What do you mean be prepared? Like, what is something that you realized this time that you didn't do that you should have done? Does that make sense?
Nothing really. I mean, we were prepared. We had the generator. We got gas for the generator. We have a generator. We were prepared for that because they kept telling us we would possibly lose power. But we didn't.
Okay.
So went to the stores early and got our bread and milk. I've learned that. You got to have that. So we got plenty of that.
I think the whole video, everybody's gonna say, "Well, you gotta have bread and milk." Okay, all right. So
And I still don't know why,
I don't
because
either.
I didn't even, I think we took one cup out of the big jug and now it's no good. So. But mainly the biggest thing I think is driving on the ice.
Okay.
That is something I've had to learn, and it scared me, but I've gotten better at it. Don't tell my husband that because then he'll make me drive. But I will say that I've gotten a little better on that because driving on snow and driving on ice, two different animals. I mean, completely different. So.
And the odds of us having ice in our storms is
This is only the second time I think it's happened since we've been here in the 21 years.
okay. Good.
Maybe the third, but definitely the second
Okay.
that I remember. And definitely this one stayed around longer because it didn't heat up a few days
Yes. Yes.
after.
Right.
So it's stayed longer.
Yes. So one other question for you, since you are a transplant, are these typical?
No.
Is this typical of our winters or
No.
no? Okay.
Ice isn't. Maybe once or twice snow, but again, it usually melts within a day or two. So.
And we're typically mild.
Yes,
Right.
correct. In fact, before we decided to move here, we had some family here, and we asked them how often does it snow here, and they said, oh, only once or twice every 2 years or so, and then ever since we've been here, at least once a year.
Yeah,
So.
they jinxed it. Didn't
Yes.
they? All right.
And it seems like the more time that goes by, the worse the winters get. I don't know.
Why?
I don't either.
Don't either.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
How long have you lived in this area, in the Mid-South?
Mid-South, I moved down, or the family and I moved down here. It was July 2022 is when I retired from the Air Force.
Nice. Thank you again for your service. You know you were grateful for
Thanks
that.
for your support.
So look, that means you're a transplant. So that's why it's really important for you to tell them, to tell that person watching us, about this last storm and the winters here. Okay.
Okay.
What surprised you most about that storm?
First, let me say that I love the show.
Okay.
The show is great. I love it. I try to tune in every time I can.
Yes. So we want them to subscribe now.
Yeah.
Subscribe now.
Subscribe and do all that stuff
Stuff now.
that you're supposed to.
Better yet, after you subscribe, go ahead and comment below about what you like most about winter storms. Or don't.
Or comment how great my hair is.
Okay. All right, so what shocked you the most?
Well, I knew I was coming down south, so I knew we wouldn't be as prepared as
For storms.
we would be in other places. In fact, during this last storm, there was a time where I got mad. I did. I even told myself they have better snow removal in Afghanistan. It snows in Afghanistan, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
No, we don't, but thank you.
And then I took a step back and I'm like, well, it does snow there, so they're prepared for it. Sorry.
Okay.
And that is something that we are not prepared for,
We're not
unfortunately, down here.
And so you had to drive in it. I'm assuming that's why you were not happy and got a little frustrated because
Yes.
you had to drive.
Yes.
And so what activities took you out since the post office was down, Amazon was down, the airport was shut down? What took you out?
What made me drive
Yes.
down? Okay,
Mhm.
so
what was the demand? Because the whole world is snowed in here in the
Yeah.
Mid-South, and we're iced in our houses, and Robert's on the street.
Yeah,
So
well, I would advise if you don't have to go anywhere, stay at home, be prepared. But unfortunately, we had to go for medical reasons. We do have, Memphis area has great children's clinics, but we're on a year and a half wait. And then we finally got transferred down to Jackson, Mississippi, and it took a week to get that appointment. So we really just wanted and had to go down there. The problem wasn't going down there. It's a 3-hour trip. It took us about 3 hours and 45 minutes to get down there at 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so we did our appointment 4 o'clock in the evening. On the return trip, it took us 12 and a half hours. So that was not fun. We got all the way up to Batesville. Got stuck a few times. It was always behind other traffic. It wasn't us being stuck in the snow or ice. It was behind other traffic. We got past Batesville eventually, but got stuck. Had to sit there. We took a 2-hour nap on the side of the road because we couldn't go anywhere, stuck behind traffic. So that was a first. I never got to sleep on the highway, so that was actually kind of fun. A little camping trip kind of thing. The only problem is I was watching the gas gauge, which that wasn't really planned very well. I would have had the car running the whole time, but I had to play, keep it warm enough but conserve gas kind of game.
So side note, that's why they say in our area when the storms are coming in that you should always have a travel emergency kit.
Yeah.
In case you have to sit and be.
For sure.
Yes. Okay.
For sure. But eventually the sheriff got to us, turned us around. We went back down to Batesville, over to Oxford, and then up north. And that too was horrendous. Thankfully by this time it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and no one's out there, and we made it up, and I don't want to ever have to do that drive again.
So yes. So you would advise somebody moving here to stay at home if we get a rare storm? Yes.
Stay home. Don't go out unless it is a medical emergency. And even then, try to do some at-home stuff if you can. It's the roads are just not prepared like they are elsewhere.
Okay. You're a realtor.
Yes.
Okay, so this storm hits our business.
Yes.
How did it affect your business? How did it affect your showings, your lead gen time, your client meetings?
Well, the biggest one is travel. If you were able to get to the house, it's dangerous to even just get out of your car, get to the house. A lot of times the houses have exterior buildings, sheds and all that, and those would be enclosed and you can't open it, and then your clients are looking at you, are you going to get this door open? And I'm like, I can. Do you have a shovel or
an ice pick?
Or an ice pick, yeah, because it was ice, it wasn't snow.
Yes. So, all right, let me ask you another question.
Yes.
What would you do differently this time? If next week they said, okay, Fern's partner
having another storm,
yes,
same thing.
Yes, and they're expecting this ice again, this 6 inches of sleet. What would you do differently?
Well, other than having to do that travel and staying home, I think I was well prepared.
Okay.
Not my first snowstorm and everything. So as far as that, I was prepared, but there was something I was missing, and I told you guys all after day 2 of the storm being stuck in, I ran out of Pepsi. I had water. We didn't lose power, but I had contingency plans for everything. I overlooked the Pepsi thing. So if it's not Pepsi your thing, that's your thing. But make sure you have whatever it is that makes you happy, because you're gonna
the frenzy is on bread and milk.
Yeah, I had plenty of that.
Yeah, and everybody gets that. But same for us. So like my husband Jeff, he drinks Milo's yellow top tea.
Yep.
I can't tell you how much because we did have a lot, but we ran out and the store's not getting the stuff. Yep. We still could not get that, and he's like, I gotta have my tea. So you really have to have a big stock. So
you do.
So did you make it through the Pepsi DTs or what?
Oh, it was tough. I was drinking anything and everything I could find, other than the water, because I don't really like water. But I survived, and I have Pepsi now.
And so next time you're getting Pepsi. So if another round comes through, we know Robert will buy up all the Pepsi.
Yeah, so you better get it first.
Got it. All right, thanks. How long have you been in the area?
In Mississippi area, 8 years.
And you say Mississippi, what about the Mid-South? You've lived in
My whole life.
Okay, so you're not a transplant.
No.
Okay, so would you say this last storm is typical winters here in the Mid-South?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Shocked. Okay, meaning because we get this one occurrence once a winter now, once a year.
Yes, and we've had this. I remember being a kid and having a big snow. I remember '94 when we had the fun ice storm, and it seems like it's beginning to be every year.
Every year
We have something like this happen.
Yes, because we're not prepared, so we can't function.
Right.
Because we can't function as a city, right? And I think the only
Right.
reason the airport stays open is because FedEx has the equipment and FedEx is
Right.
hubbed here. So yeah, so I think some of the places, but the airport was closed this last time
Yes.
for a few days. Okay, all right. So Fern, and I've joked about Fern's name. I really feel like it needs to be something, I don't know, something with more than a. I think of a fern. I think of a beautiful green.
Yeah, I'm going, who's Fern?
Yeah, that's what they named this last storm. Fern.
Okay.
Fern,
I don't
okay.
know. I didn't watch
Yes.
the news.
Yeah, so that's what they named this one was Fern. And I felt like it needed to have more of a punch because it left us with a big punch. So hindsight's 2020. So the person that's watching this right now who's thinking of moving here in the Mid-South and they're trying to decide about the winters, what would you tell them you would do differently to prepare or expect from a storm that comes next time that you learned from the last one? Did you get all that?
I think so.
Okay, so what would you do differently this next time, this next storm that comes around? What would you do differently?
Okay, so this is going to sound really funny.
Okay.
I saw this and I want to do this next time for sure. Go out, put a tarp up so that when the ice comes, there's already an igloo in my yard for my child to play in. I saw somebody else do it. I thought that was absolutely awesome. And because of all the ice, it meant that really worked for them. Now, I would start first couple of days clearing my driveway because that was something that it was awful. And I have a real steep driveway, so we kind of slid down. I have a great TikTok of my son like trying to get up the driveway.
Maybe we'll use that in the clips here in this video. So
Oh, we absolutely can. It's so fun.
Okay.
So, other things that I would do. We did it this year. We're very excited to do it. We got wood because I have a wood burning fireplace,
Nice.
and that really made the difference for our house. And I'm hoping it's going to make a big difference for our utilities
Yes.
as well. I was prepared
Good.
because I had plenty of food. We didn't find milk, but I don't know how.
You were late to the store.
I was late to the store for the milk, but I will go back and keep powdered milk. I used to do that all the time, but I will make sure that's part of my winter grocery list.
Gotcha.
No, that's really, because I felt like I was prepared.
Good,
Yeah.
good. All right, this one question then. What is the number one thing you need to do to prepare? Everybody knows about the bread and milk, so you can't say that. So,
No.
Okay, and even in our news, the meter is how much bread and milk do you need for this storm. So that's not it. So really think logistically for a buyer. If they're looking to buy a house, is there something that they should look for in a house that would help them in the storms?
Good insulation,
Good insulation,
fireplace.
fireplace.
Yeah. And not just gas, because a lot of folks that I've talked to, they ran out of propane.
Yeah.
So making sure you've got propane if you need that, space heaters, some that maybe are not electric because a lot of times we will use
power.
electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So alternative forms of heating.
That's really the important
Yeah,
thing.
heat.
Heat.
You
when it's
can
cold
deal
here.
with the rest. Yeah, you
Exactly.
can deal with the rest of it. No, and just being consistently stocked. But are you talking about transplants that have not lived in this area?
Yeah,
Be aware that it comes.
it comes. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that you think you drive where you drive now, but you probably won't drive here, especially if it's ice.
Yeah, because
we
it's
don't have
just not
equipment.
a 4-wheeler helps. Side by
That's how
side
it
helps.
Yes, that's
Right.
a fun thing. Stories. All right, thank you very much. I
You're
appreciate
very
it.
welcome.
I know I've interviewed others, and so I'm going to interview myself for you. I've lived here all my life, basically, except a short stint where we moved out west as a child. And winters here, these events are very sporadic, to say. But being that, I've learned lots of things. We have a backup generator. We keep the kerosene lamps. We have those things in place. We have the heat, the fireplaces, the gas fireplaces should we lose power, so we can stay warm, that kind of thing. But here are some new things that I learned in this particular storm. This particular storm brought in about 6.5 inches of sleet, which formed a huge ice glacier, I guess you could say. Didn't hurt the power lines in our area, which we were grateful for, so most of us kept heat and power, but the roads were crazy, so no deliveries. We have a new dog, and I didn't think much about it because in the past we've had dogs all of our lives, but this particular dog could not find grass to use the restroom, to use her potty breaks, which I found truly phenomenal. I thought she was just excited about the ice and snow. Come to find out there was one little piece of grass, and that's where she used it. And my phone was listening, so my feeds instantly started blowing up of people up north who would actually take tarps and lay them out on the grass when it snows, so after the snow comes, they can pull them up and the animals have a normal yard where they know to take care of their business. So I thought that was very interesting. The other thing that I found very interesting, because we've had snow in the past, watering, if you have to keep water hoses running because you have livestock or you are feeding animals, barns, that kind of stuff, it is important that you keep those hoses elevated because they got iced in. So even though you had hoses laid out that would drip water, you couldn't actually pick them up and take them back into the barn or into the areas that needed to actually have the water used. So that was kind of something unusual that we learned in that aspect too. So just a few fun facts. I hope that answers some of your questions that you may have, but if it doesn't and you don't want the Google searches answers, because we live here, we work here, we guide people every day through real estate. That's our job. So if you have questions about neighborhoods, lifestyle, weather, anything about the Mid-South area, give us a call. Our contact information is below. Hey, thanks again for watching. It's been a lot of fun. Comment below. Tell us something that you love about winter or something you learned about the storm or something that somebody needs to know. And thanks for tuning in.